$150 prize pool just donated. CMYK7. Get your 7s, get your OMGs, get everything in the chat for CMYK. That's another huge prize pool he's given us. He gave us a prize pool. I think he donated a big prize pool for Evo and Forky recently. Now he's throwing down some cash for these guys. I need to put that up on the screen at some point too. Ashllxyy versus Ayoub. First show match since the end of Mount 1v1 after KV1 did some dominating. Ayoub and Ashllxyy we both had on stream before. Ashllxyy, the mechanical mastermind, doing it all with one arm as he gets a nice power slide catch and pop into the net for a first. Ayoub, living in Belgium, coming from Morocco, played in the Feer Fest. And I think he actually might have played against Ashllxyy to knock him out of the qualifiers to get into Feer Fest. That could be, misremembering. I've misremembered in the past. But Ayoub did take down a lot of good players. And one of them might have been Ashllxyy. But now they're going to play a best of 5. And they're going to be playing for $150. Ayoub, not too long ago, told me that he wanted to be out of the show match scene or out of Rocket League in general. I don't really know. He just said, hey, just so you know, don't look to me for 1v1 show matches anymore. And then a few weeks, or maybe it's been a month or two later, he said, hey, I'm ready to go again. Put me back in. It's time to start the grind. So we'll see where he's at. Ashllxyy will not be an easy opponent. I did not check where Ashllxyy was at in the top 100. So he might be really high, he might not be, but both these players, the kind of players that, whether or not they're grinding the 1v1 ladder or not, we know they can be high tier. Nice save from Ashllxyy. There's a good counter by Ayoub to flick really, really quickly, but Ashllxyy just barely able to redirect it out of the net. Ayoub, another flick. This one a little bit slower than Ashllxyy expected. Ashllxyy trying to pre-jump. Did he reset on this boost here or not? Oh, he didn't. So he didn't have anything. Decided to use his 12 boost to cut off an angle and did not find it. So 1-1. Prediction still up. Hey, it's tied. As people predict more points, they can at least know that it's going even so far. I'm going to let it dwindle down, chat. Everybody who predicted before getting to see the first 2 goals freaking out. Ooh, Ashllxyy somehow not able to find that angle. Ayoub kept it out, and he even stopped the double as well. Goodness, Ayoub. Can he get a quick counter? He didn't have a lot of boosts, but you can see him intentionally using the flick on his car to get that acceleration, making sure he didn't slam into the car, with the nose. A lot of the times it's hard to generate power if you don't have speed with that. Instead, intentionally using that flick that kind of helps scoop the ball and get that speed out of nothing. 2-1 lead for Ayoub. Chat, for the most part, at least in their words, saying they have faith in Ashllxyy to take this one, but I haven't checked the predictions. Ooh, fake. Wait a second. Ayoub covered it. I thought that was a great, either intentional or not, fake by Ashllxyy. But Ayoub able to cover that near post. 2-1, this long shot clear. Not going to be in, but it should buy time for Ayoub to get boost. Instead, he wants to dive in, see if he can get a demo on Ashllxyy. And the cost of doing so means he's going to have to play some goal line defense. But man, Ayoub has done a really good job around his net. Ashllxyy is not making poor shots by any means, but Ayoub is finding a way to keep all of them out, holding Ashllxyy to 1 goal 3 minutes in. Not an easy thing to do, and his counter, it's off the backboard and out. Ashllxyy, great coverage as well. Awkward situation for him with that single jump, trying to make sure he's not out of position, but he covers it well. Ashllxyy, the bump on Ayoub, not strong enough to really slow him down. Oh my goodness, Ashllxyy, what a read. Ayoub taking the ball back to that back corner to reset on boost, and thought, I'll just slam it to the ceiling so that the oncoming challenge, doesn't actually touch the ball. But Ashllxyy read it and was up at the ceiling to try and get the takeaway. Good midfield play by Ashllxyy. These guys were in a fairly equal situation, but Ashllxyy able to dwindle Ayoub's boost down. Now has him playing in net. Ceiling reset from Ashllxyy. He's just trying to take the shot too far away from the net. He's going to have a hard time getting it past Ayoub, especially the way Ayoub's playing. Even if Ashllxyy had set that up better, it seems like Ayoub has been able to keep everything out. 42 seconds left to go. High flick. Ayoub uses it to grab that back corner boost, but didn't have enough power to really stop Ashllxyy from getting a shot attempt. And you can see Ashllxyy searching for a creative way to score against Ayoub right now. I mean, he knows he's going to have to bring out some kind of crazy attempts, and it's led to him with a couple flubs as this game winds down. Not a bad air dribble. He couldn't get enough in front of the ball to get the bump on Ayoub. It seems like the net is open, but Ayoub has seemed to cover everything. What happened there with Ashllxyy? Did he try and fake it? Because he had boost. I felt like he could have accelerated that faster, but for whatever reason, he didn't feel like he should have hit it hard. Ayoub in net needs one more save to end this game. 2-1. My goodness, what a low-scoring game. But Ayoub will take it. Going up 1-0 in this best of 5. Now for $150. Ayoub versus Ashllxyy. Game number 2. Ayoub winning in the second lowest scoring possible game you can have. 1-0, of course, being the least amount of scoring any game could ever finish with. And I don't think we've ever seen that. I don't think we've ever seen a 1v1 show match on our stream finish 1-0. But we have seen a few different 2-1s. I guess 2-0 is also a less scoring than a 2-1. So it's the third lowest score. "30 seconds into this one, and the scoring hasn't changed much, but Ashllxyy will get his second goal of the series. It is now 2-2 in terms of scoring between these guys, but Ayoub up a game. He can't quite get to the top left corner. Nice far post flick, and that's the kind of stuff it's going to take, I guess, for Ashllxyy to get the ball past Ayoub. Really, it's just surprising that none of the kickoffs turned into any sort of shot attempts from these guys, because normally you expect, wow, what great defense. A great shot from Ashllxyy. We watched that from Ayoub's perspective, which we don't always do with those flip resets, but you could tell that Ayoub would have really been punished if Ashllxyy had faked it. Ayoub definitely prepping for the expectation that Ashllxyy will hit it, and you know, for good reason. Ashllxyy can hit it basically on command, but I wonder if Ashllxyy had held off on using the flip and instead taking it to the ground. You saw Ayoub setting up that defense high on the back wall above the crossbar. I imagine he'd have a really hard time getting down, but you know, Ayoub has more than proven he can stop everything. In fact, he's gonna show his defense high on the back wall, get Ashllxyy to shoot early, and then he still comes down to take it away. That being said, Ashllxyy grabbing that corner boost. Ayoub, you can see him taking his trip around the semicircle to pick up pads, and man, Ayoub able to cover it, and it seemed like the net was open. And I think that's just credit to the way Ayoub has been playing so far. He's got Ashllxyy double, you know, what am I thinking? Double checking? That's not the word I'm trying to think of. Like second guessing. That's what I'm trying to think of. Second guessing every move, because it seems like he's had a lot of open nets, and he's not taking them because he's worried Ayoub's going to make some kind of crazy save, and then he's actually playing himself back into a situation where Ayoub can make the save. Whereas if he maybe turned his brain off a little bit and just smacked it at the net, Ayoub would be out of position. Ayoub, a soft flick. Ashllxyy forced to send it away as he carries his ball out to midfield. No boost for him, but he's not going to give up on offensive possession. 50's in a really tough spot. I imagine Ayoub's going to look for a power shot here, or if he could have, would have bumped Ashllxyy back into his half. Big boost miss. Ayoub in trouble here. He might get scored on, and it all comes down to that midfield boost. Ayoub driving right by it. If he takes that, I think Ashllxyy's operating on a little bit less. He would have had 60, so you know what? He probably could have made that play. But we'll just say the psychological effects of not having the boost. I guess actually, yeah, he got it all the way down to 30. So it would have been much closer, much tighter for sure. Ayoub, wall to air dribble. He's going to pull off it for the 50. And I think he just decided to do that a little bit too late. He needs to get more separation between himself and the ball in order to get that favorable 50. And he's left the net open. 3-1 for Ashllxyy. Ashllxyy opened up the scoring a little bit in a way that he had a hard time doing in game 1. Both these guys dancing at midfield. Ayoub trying to cut off the immediate shot. He wasn't able to get the midfield boost. And oh no, oh no, oh no, Ayoub, he can't get back around it. He just own goaled it. Ashllxyy's gonna thank him. You can see Ashllxyy grabbing midfield boost, and after this 50, he goes to grab the back corner too because he knows he can just keep Ayoub completely starved. Ayoub trying to stay ahead of the game and, you know, clear the ball out of dangerous way quickly before the menace that had 200 boosts was coming back, you know, came to get him. He ended up just slamming it in his own net. (4-1). And you have to think that the way Ayoub has been scoring on offense, he's going to have a tough time coming back from even a 3-goal lead because he just had to rely on crazy defense in game number 1. But now that Ashllxyy is finding some scoring, there it is. Ayoub will get a second, matching his game 1 total. Going to have a hard time winning a series, scoring 2 goals a game. But he's got a minute and 11 left to go. We'll see if he mixes up the offense to bring it back. Ayoub, the ball bouncing just outside Ashllxyy's net. Almost able to get him beat, but a pre-flip by Ashllxyy. A dangerous challenge, but a good read that Ayoub was not going to be making a move anytime soon. And Ayoub could not react in time to chip it over the long distance challenge. 40 seconds left to go. Ashllxyy's long shot will be saved. Ayoub able to hold on to 40 boost. Ashllxyy taking it to the skies though. Flip reset outside the net. Low 50, and that's what I'm talking about. The low wave dash didn't end up 50ing it because Ayoub didn't end up making any contact, but Ayoub has been going high on all of these plays, trying to cover, you know, the successful flip reset that Ashllxyy's so good at. This time, Ashllxyy takes it to the ground, wave dashes it, and finishes off a 5th. A 3-goal lead. Ayoub gonna need some magic here. Not only to score quickly, which he might right now. Good coverage by Ashllxyy though. But he's gonna need a few kickoff goals to immediately follow it. So I think Ashllxyy's gonna tie up the series. Ayoub's stellar defense could only hold on for so long against Ashllxyy. He's going to need to find a little bit of offense himself in the coming rest of the games in the series. Game number 2 going to Ashllxyy as he ties it up. Ayoub versus Ashllxyy, game number 3. Ashllxyy showing us a clip or two in game 2. He's always good for one, and maybe another here, but gosh, man, Ayoub, great coverage. And it's hard to predict. I mean, that's a really tough shot to make, but Ayoub assuming he's going to hit it and, you know, pre-jumping that portion of the net that the ball's headed to. And when he does it as well as he does, it means he's going to have an open net for a counter as well. Can Ayoub, you know, only gather offense from counterattacks from Ashllxyy, or will he have to find some open field, you know, shot attempts in order to take a win? Ashllxyy rolling this one back to the corner. Ayoub, you know, showing no interest in even crossing the line. He doesn't want to enter orange field territory. He'd rather just make a save and play from there. This time, he is able to gain control. after Ashllxyy retreats off the save. A quick wave dash off the wall. That's going to be really tough. Wait a second. No, Ashllxyy! Oh, Ayoub. Ayoub messed up too. That was a bit of a double mess up because Ashllxyy missing the wide open net. But if Ayoub had recognized, you know, because Ayoub was screwed either way. If he just recognized either I let him score or I prepare in case he absolutely blunders it, then I'll be ready for a quick counter. But neither of them prepped for it. And Ayoub rolled himself into the net. And Ashllxyy could get back in time. But Ashllxyy still down 1. He loves taking these to the air. Great flip reset. Crossbar this time will save it. And Ayoub with 0 boost needs a couple good flips and you'll get him 2-0. Ayoub gonna play completely out of his back line. And he's got himself another lead in this game. Ashllxyy certainly can't afford to be missing open nets. Ayoub is not giving him open nets very often. Ashllxyy, not a lot you can do when the ball falling awkwardly into the corner. Tried to see if he could tap it early, get it over Ayoub, but didn't work. And we're back in our familiar location on the field. We've got Ashllxyy, more than enough boost to make some good shot attempts. Ayoub trying to defend out of the last 10th of his field. And oh my goodness, a nice catch at midfield and a third. Every single play is starting from inside Ayoub's net. This time, Ashllxyy getting bumped slightly out of the way. Didn't have any boost. And, you know, maybe he was planning on going midfield either way. But down 3-0. This has been such an interesting game from Ayoub. This is the most, you know, offensive to defensive 1v1 I've ever seen, where one player is so clearly wanting to play entirely defense, and Ashllxyy in general, a very, you know, mechanical, great offensive player. So I think honestly he probably feels pretty comfortable being put in a spot where he gets to play offense all the time as well, and yet, you know, it's not necessarily working out for him. Ayoub was just doing such a good job at stopping what Ashllxyy's looking for. Slow dribble, low boost for Ayoub. He needs a good recovery here. Tried to cut it off early, but man, Ashllxyy just missed. I wonder if he felt the pressure of the Ayoub challenge. We didn't watch it from Ashllxyy's perspective, but I have to assume he had a bit of an open net there. Ayoub was trying to cut it off before it was too late. And Ashllxyy's flick over him just went wide. Another high lob to the top of the net. Ayoub able to cover it. Ashllxyy, these flip resets. This time, Ayoub can't do it. When you don't have enough boost, there's nothing you could do. Ashllxyy probably could have gotten away with just dribbling this right to the top shelf because Ayoub was not going to be able to get up. But that's not Ashllxyy's style. Oh my goodness. The flip reset keeps it high and goes just underneath the post. A 0 boost Ayoub was never going to have a chance. Ashllxyy, he's had to go to the most creative shots to even get one on the board. He's got a minute left and needs 2 more if he wants to tie this up. But we have seen Ayoub playing a little bit more offense in the past few minutes or so as he takes these dribbles down to Ashllxyy's side of the field. I wonder if Ashllxyy is, you know, intentionally setting that up at all, if he'd rather try and force some offense out of Ayoub. What a save. It's just like insane from Ayoub. That's a great fake by Ashllxyy. Ashllxyy jumping up to show a huge air roll shot over to like a far side of the net. And then he ends up dropping it down and Ayoub reacts to freeze his car in place and make sure he still gets to touch. It's really hard to do that. Ayoub is just making great reads. He's got himself an open net from it. 4-1. Man. In Ayoub's 2 wins, it seems like he might hold Ashllxyy to a single goal, which is just crazy to do. That being said, Ashllxyy, a nice air dribble bump. That is something I imagine we'll see from Ashllxyy a little bit more. When players like to play this goal line defense and they're doing a great job of it, like Ayoub is, I mean, this is why the air dribble bump, you know, came to fruition. once a lot of players realized they could save almost anything and they could just camp their net, that is when you saw people looking to take defenders out of the net with demos. So maybe we'll see a little bit more air dribble bump attempts from Ashllxyy. That's the first time I think we've even seen him go for it all series. And it got him a second. It's going to be too late, I think, for him to come back in this game 3 using it. But he will use it again. And this time, Ayoub, you know, he shows he could save them as well. As the double jump bump is tapped away. Ayoub pre-jumping to get above it. But man, Ayoub going up 2-1 as we head to game number 4. Ayoub versus Ashllxyy. Game number 4. Ayoub, when he keeps Ashllxyy to under 2 goals, gets the win. Which, you know, is probably the case for a lot of players. But not a case for Ashllxyy. Because Ashllxyy held Ayoub to 2 goals, but he couldn't get 2 goals of his own in one of these earlier games. Ashllxyy going to get one of his first opportunities to shoot on an open net. I mean, I guess it counts as an open net shot. He just outplayed him in the corner. But not often does that ball get to roll for multiple seconds at the net with no defender in it. One thing I would say that Ayoub is doing a good job of too, as he's already let Ashllxyy score 2 goals, so not looking great for him at the start of this game number 4, is for the most part, he actually just messed it up here. For the most part, he's done a good job of not getting scored on kickoffs. I mean, kickoffs are so volatile. I mean, we saw that, especially in Mount 1v1 with KV1. It's hard not to have at least some of these kickoffs go into the net in these series, but Ayoub has done a good job at the very least neutralizing them so that all the action is happening in the open field and not just immediately off of kickoff. But his delayed kickoff that time didn't work. Ashllxyy able to score on it. So 2-0. Ayoub, a nice pop. He needs to get back quickly. And Ashllxyy able to bump him out of the play. Both of them faking off the ball. Playing a little bit passive in the corner. Ashllxyy trying to send the ball high and get himself to the corner boost before Ayoub able to take it away. But Ayoub saw it coming. Snipes him off the field. Not a bad recovery from Ashllxyy. Almost had a chance there. At least took Ayoub off the field. Ayoub looks like he was maybe setting up a wall to air dribble, but seeing how he's played the most of the series up until this point, no surprise that he's going to cut it and try and play it off the ground instead. This low 50 does not connect, and he's not able to grab that midfield boost. That's going to be a huge steal as this possession switches over in favor of Ashllxyy. Almost everything he's doing here he would not have been able to do if Ayoub had correctly taken that midfield boost. Ashllxyy, a nice tap straight up to the ceiling. Very interesting play from Ashllxyy. Basically, he saw the ball rolling up the side wall, and it had the perfect strength to start an air dribble for Ayoub. You know, it's exactly the kind of money amount of strength they want. So Ashllxyy just gives it extra power. He just rolls it up the side wall stronger so that it hits off the ceiling. Very awkward. It basically cuts off any ability to play it in the air. What a shot from Ashllxyy. But it was just an interesting way to neutralize the potential offense from Ayoub. But the ceiling touch and a nice shot right back down to the net. Great read. We saw Ashllxyy do that earlier. He is controlling the high corner when Ayoub tries to basically clear it and put it into a dead space. That is a shooting space for Ashllxyy. And he gets himself a third. Ayoub definitely playing better when he has that early lead. And he can, you know, force Ashllxyy into offense and just try and play out of his own half. Right now, with a 2-goal deficit, I'm sure he feels like he needs to bring it to Ashllxyy a bit, which just hasn't been his game so far in this series. As he tries to set up a low 50. Another fake. Good recognition of where Ashllxyy was facing. He put it as far away from, you know, where his car was pointed as possible, but Ashllxyy, very mechanical, having no issue contorting his car to get up and make that high corner save. Right now, Ayoub having to dodge the demo as he tried a power shot. It's not going to work as Ashllxyy clears it off the back wall. Ayoub will go wall to air dribble this time. Hard to resist in these situations. Ashllxyy, what a challenge. Instantly coming high off the ceiling to take it away. A minute 20 left to go. Ooh, Ashllxyy just misplay at the midfield after what was a good save. Playing a little panicked and did not need to pre-flip to that ball. If he had rolled into it a little bit slower, he could have, you know, caught it or thrown some 50s against Ayoub, but you could tell he felt very worried that Ayoub was going to have a shot attempt that maybe he didn't actually have. So he pre-flipped at the ball and ended up tapping it away from him. A minute left to go. Ashllxyy in control. Ayoub taking this back to his corner. Oh, wait a second. I don't think Ayoub realized that this could be shot. Just trying to hold on to a possession and did not mean to launch it out. Yeah, he definitely was trying to roll up the back wall as he caught it. He needed corner boost, but he wanted, you know, his cake and to eat it too by picking up the boost and staying in control of the ball. But he couldn't have both as Ashllxyy gets a goal and another quickly off kickoffs. Go next. Ayoub says 5 goals. I can't beat 5 goals. 40 seconds left to go. Ayoub wants to go to game 5. Ashllxyy versus Ayoub, $150 on the line. So we head to game number 5. Let me make sure I save this. Ayoub versus Ashllxyy, game number 5. $150 on the line. Thanks to CMYK7. Much appreciated. One of these guys going home today. Well, they're probably already home. But leaving the pitch today a little bit richer. And I think how the early parts of this game goes will be very important. Ashllxyy, a nice flip reset, but cannot get it in the net. Ayoub playing much better when he can start with a lead. And man, Ashllxyy, how many times does he need to shoot it to eventually score? Not sure, but he does get it as he gets a flip reset, uses it to push it just inside the far post. And that is what Ayoub requires from you. You need to execute it perfectly if you want to score, and Ashllxyy just has. Oh no! Ayoub forfeiting that last game with 40 seconds left on the clock. I'm going to be nice to him. I'm not going to make him watch it. He obviously just completely flubbed the kickoff. And not great when you're trying to stop the tilt. So let it be known, I'm basically cheating for Ayoub by not making him watch it again and just fully skipping it. But Ashllxyy starting up 2-0. As we mentioned before, every time Ayoub has won, he has held Ashllxyy to under 2 goals. So Ashllxyy already having 2 goals, not the best of signs for Ayoub. Ayoub has a great opportunity here, though. He is going to slow it down and pop it above Ashllxyy. What a flick. Did not seem like the space was there this close to the net to lob the ball that high. But he gets it over Ashllxyy, and it's, oh, beautiful. Exactly what he needed to get his first. And that's a good sign. I mean, in a game that has been primarily counterattacks and, you know, scoring after midfield misplays by Ashllxyy, to see a nice flick right over the defender means when Ayoub is given space, he can get it past. He's got another opportunity right here. Really early flick. He's going to try and bump Ashllxyy, but can't do so. Hard to do when you're going for the bump from that far away. And Ashllxyy might have made himself a goal here at midfield. That's what's going to happen as Ayoub playing a little bit more of an aggressive game. I don't think we see him turn up field to try and challenge that earlier in the series. I think that's a change to how he's playing. It's going to leave Ashllxyy with an open opportunity. Kickoff in favor of Ayoub. Another slowdown. You see him never taking that initial hook shot or any power shot he wants to work it in even closer. Try and see if he can get a flick or a slight pop above Ashllxyy. Ashllxyy like a full field dribble. Ayoub saves the first, and man, these have actually been working against Ashllxyy. Despite how impressive he's done on almost all of them, I'd say, especially the full field ones, like this one, with a lot of lateral across the field movement, he's having a hard time scoring them against Ayoub. Ayoub just playing too well. He's actually had decent success coming from the corner, the high corner where these tight angles that don't have as much ground to cover. He has been able to get those past Ayoub. But the open field ones, Ayoub is just completely cleaned up. Right now he's got Ayoub in a familiar location, playing defense with absolutely no boost as Ashllxyy throws on great shot after great shot. This time Ashllxyy going double. Ayoub! How did he keep it out? He redirected it off the post. I don't understand, man. He had no business saving that. That was a great setup from Ashllxyy. Good thinking to go high, go for the double, and make it, basically an impossible angle for Ayoub to predict and save. And yet somehow, Ayoub does exactly that. Ayoub, no way you keep this out. No way Ayoub keeps this out. Oh my goodness. The man can't be scored on. That was a great 50. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Oh my goodness, Ayoub. He has absolutely saran wrapped his entire net, and every time the ball starts to go in, it finds its way out. Oh my goodness, what a tie game from Ayoub. He can't keep getting away with this. Oh no, he just left an open net. After all that, such great offense, or such great defense, I mean. And then he just flicks it and taps it over to Ashllxyy off a kickoff. So Ashllxyy will take back the lead. 4-3, 2 minutes left to go. Ayoub basically needs to not even go, Ashllxyy needs to basically not even go into Ayoub's half. And he is going to let Ayoub take this early shot. Air roll shot this time. Instead of killing the ball and going for a low 50, this open field goal. See, that's what I'm talking about. Ayoub hasn't looked as consistent when forced to play on offense, and here he can't hold on to the ball. Ashllxyy with a 50, picking up a pad and scoring. 5-3, minute 40. We're going to have to see offensive Ayoub as the clock winds down if we want to see him come back, send it to overtime, or take it in regulation. Ashllxyy looking to bait Ayoub in, and why not? I expect to see some very safe shot attempts from Ashllxyy, and then just heading back to his net. In fact, I'm really surprised that he even went for that backwards jump. It felt really awkward, and the risk of losing out was going to be a great offensive attempt, which I think is what Ayoub has here right now, as Ashllxyy has to play defense on very little. Whereas I would expect Ashllxyy to just, play it ultra safe, force Ayoub to play offense. He obviously is not very interested in doing so, and hasn't had the same kind of success as he's had playing out of his own half. Ashllxyy, a nice tap away. An awkward angle for Ayoub to get a strong touch, and he can't take Ashllxyy up the field. Ashllxyy, great wave dashes. He'll pick up all the boost. And even though he doesn't get himself an open net with 30 seconds left to go, he'll play the possession game. Ayoub forced to chase him around the map. Ashllxyy, a very mechanical player, though, so playing keep away is very easy for him. I think these guys who can do anything they want with the ball don't have a hard time driving around and keeping it away, but oh no, Ayoub just needed a little bit more boost. That would have been a nasty double. He does take Ashllxyy off the field. He should score here with a few seconds left to go, and now he needs some kickoff magic. A great play from Ayoub to make it possible. Ashllxyy, his spawn is almost good enough, man. Crazy. It all comes down to this. Will Ayoub delay the kickoff? Will he do anything different? We've seen him delay the kickoff a bunch of times earlier in the series. This time he's going to go straight up. And he's got himself a possession. With low boost, he's going to play it in the air, but not the best of setups. You could tell right as he came off the wall, he didn't have it. GG's from both these guys. 3-2 in favor of Ashllxyy. A close series. An insane defense from Ayoub. But ultimately, the offense of Ashllxyy is too much as he overwhelms Ayoub.